Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less. I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name.
As everybody knows, I love to train agents. That's what we do here. But in this series, we're going to go back to the basics, right? So Back to the Basics is a series that we're going to roll out before open enrollment that's both going to help new agents as well as consumers learn some of the terms, learn some of the basics in the under 65 health insurance world. You know, I often talk about how simple it is, but I forget the time that I have invested in learning this industry. And, you know, honestly, compared to some other industries, i.e. Medicare, or even though health insurance kind of fits into the, even though Medicare fits into the health insurance space, I believe that the individual under 65 world is extremely simple compared to that. So, but again, I'm taking my years of knowledge for granted. So in this series, we're going to talk about some very basic principles to both help consumers. So if you're a consumer out there and you're like, hey, what the heck am I watching? He's training agents. No, I'm talking to you about selecting your health plan for 2022. And I'm talking to those new agents that maybe have just started, or, you know, wherever you're at in your journey, there's something to learn here. And the first thing that I want to cover is something really basic. What is open enrollment, right? And I'm going to abbreviate open enrollment, OEP. OEP stands for open enrollment period. Okay, so what is open enrollment? Open enrollment this year, they just announced, is the time frame between November 1st and January 15th. Okay, so between November 1st and January 15th, when anyone, okay, regardless of who you are, really, regardless of whether you have work coverage through your employer or, you know, no matter your scenario, anybody can shop options. As long as you're a U.S. citizen or here legally, you can shop your options for health insurance between 11/1 and 1/15. Now, why does that? Why? You might say, like, well, why couldn't I shop any other time? Because any time outside of open enrollment, so any time out of these dates, you need 4 things to be able to enroll in an ACA or Obamacare plan. Let's define that real quick, actually. So we're talking about the basics. Let's talk about ACA. ACA stands for Affordable Care Act. Okay, so Affordable Care Act. And the common nicknames for that are going to be Marketplace or Obamacare, very commonly referred to as Obamacare. Okay, I talk to clients sometimes and they say, I don't want Obamacare. Well, they already had Obamacare. They just didn't realize that Obamacare is kind of just a slang term for the ACA or for a marketplace plan. So all of these things essentially mean the same thing. Okay, we're talking about federally facilitated plans on the government plans, if you will, on the marketplace. Okay. If you wanted one of these plans, regardless of whether you want one or don't want one, if you want one of these plans, you've got to enroll between November 1st and January 15th, and that would be for a first of the year or first of the following month, so February 1st effective date. Okay, why is that important? The reason that's so important because outside of this open enrollment period, you have 4 what are called QLEs, okay, qualifying life event. I'm not going to write that out because it's a long word. But the 4 QLEs are essentially going to be either you lost coverage through an employer, or maybe you got a divorce, something like that. Okay, you lost coverage. Number 2, you had a change in your household. Okay, that would be the divorce thing, or would be the you know, you moved, right? You moved residence. That's the 3rd thing, change in residence. And then the last thing is kind of the catch-all, and that would be other things like maybe you became a U.S. citizen or you had an income change that changes the plans that are available. So you have 4 kind of categories. There's a bunch of QLEs, but they all fit into 4 categories. QLEs, qualifying life event. Okay, if you have a QLE, you can enroll anytime. If you do not have a QLE, which most people will not, you've got to enroll between that November 1st and January 15th date this year. Okay, so in this series, we're going to talk about all things open enrollment and selecting the right health plan for you. Again, whether you're a consumer or an agent, we're going to talk about selecting the right health plan. And that matters if you're an agent because you want to do the right thing for your clients. So we're going to go deep into open enrollment, how to select the plan, but we're going to go back to the basics with this. And I'm excited. I hope this video helped.